Look at what's behind Gus. There's a jug of just yeast shit that right behind Gus. It looks like pus. Gus decided it would be a good idea to do what today?
Brew beer.
You brewed beer in the goddamn podcast
Everyone already
studio.
noticed as well. Everyone's saying nice, sweet homebrew you got there.
Yeah,
It's
see?
fucking, it smells terrible in
Thanks,
here
guys.
now.
No, it's gonna be awesome. Well, you know what? No beer for you, buddy.
Listen, you can look at that horrible shit. There's like 3 layers of crap in there.
No, it's 3 layers of deliciousness. We
No,
got
that's
some yeast
disgusting.
and some malt in there. It's all going to ferment. In 3 weeks, we're going to be enjoying a
Well, it's
delicious
like- it's like-
blonde pale ale.
Every
Smells
person
like
goes through
boiled
this
by the
curvature, and
ass.
it usually happens around like your sophomore year of college, you know, where everybody has that buddy who's like, they discover about brewing beer, and you get through that process. Like, the podcast is about that old. Well, it's about in his sophomore year of college, where it's like, well, we have to start brewing our own beer. And then everyone's going to get poisoned.
Yeah, I wanted to brew it during the live stream, but we realized that it actually would take a long time and would probably take longer than the stream ran.
Yeah, how's that going? I mean, what stage are you in, right? Did you just start this today?
Yeah. So like we just right before we went live, we put it in the fermenter, as it's called, and it'll sit there for 3 weeks.
So is it actually worthwhile money-wise to brew your own beer, or is it just the same? Did you save money doing it?
I think over time you do, but you got to buy like that jar and shit. You don't buy that normally. You normally just get your beer.
How much was
already.
that jar?
I think all the supplies to make the 1 gallon of beer was, excuse me, I don't want to say $70.
It's like you're a small version of Breaking Bad.
What have you done in public?
What do you want to know?
What were you doing?
I've jerked it in public, and I've been with a girl in public. I've done both those things. How did you make it through your teenage years and never jerked
Joel,
in
have
public?
you?
No.
What do you mean in public? Where do you go to? Are you in
Well,
public?
I'd have to.
I've done both.
There you go.
Burn
Wait,
it
wait,
out
wait.
and-
Solidarity, man.
So,
Well, I guess it's sort of like
You've
what
never-
do we designate?
Were you in your house? If you were not in your house, you're in public.
If I've
that's not true. No, in public
I've-
means you're among the public, not you're outside where nobody can see you.
You're still outside in the public.
Where's the public?
The street.
no, yeah, everybody's banged in public.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's banged in public.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if you're, you know, when you're 18 and it's like you live with your parents, you got to go drive.
And when you're
somewhere.
15, you can't get laid. You have to jerk it in public. That's just the way it works. That's half the reason why you get a car at 16.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
for
it's
practice.
my own private
You learn how to drive
space.
stick. Come
where
on.
I can jerk off going down the highway.
Yeah, but you've never done anything in public that you could potentially get caught at. Every time I see pictures from a UK club, it's people getting, as you say, what did you call it?
You might get a swift blowy in an alley behind a club or something.
A swift blowy.
Yeah.
It seems like people in the UK.
Do they have this in Amsterdam?
Oh yeah. You went to Amsterdam. You didn't go, did you?
I haven't. No, I didn't go.
You were
really
right
haven't
next.
been?
You were
There you go.
40 minutes from Amsterdam and you didn't go.
Well, no, when you're with Jason and Gus, you're not 40 minutes because there's trains and they're drunk and like. And
you can-
did it take you 40 minutes to get back from? I remember you guys being like, "Well, we missed a stop and then we went and then we were, you know."
Oh, if
It
you,
was,
if
it
you-
was a
train.
trip, but yeah, what else were we doing? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're that close, like that,
No,
you,
I
you were
mean,
90%
you're
of the way
right.
there.
You're right. I mean, you're right. It was just I knew it was going to be a bigger
was an ordeal. It was like-
time commitment. It was going to be an ordeal.
It was like 6 hours on the train each way.
Do you ever use those toilet seat covers in airports?
Yeah.
The paper ones they give you. where-
Sometimes.
Never.
for the toilet seat or
ones-
for something else.
The one in O'Hare, the airports or the bathrooms in O'Hare, have it on there all the time. You ever notice that? Like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
just covered
there's
in
like
that
some sort
plastic.
of creepy Borg-looking mechanism.
like-
That's like it's like a condom. It's got like plastic.
Yeah, you sit
You
on
look
it.
at it and you're like, what an
Borg
engineering marvel is going on? It's got like a spring and like coils
As soon as
and
you
there's
stand
plastic.
up, it like rotates and like a new thing
Oh,
of plastic
dude.
comes out on it.
And it's like, I'm not sure if that's grosser.
This is why you don't want cameras in public. Right here. This discussion.
I mean,
'cause
what
you get
in,
a
the,
Borg condom.
what in the fuck is going on with those things?
Every time I've used one of the manual ones where you have the rim of the seat, but you also have that bit that hangs down in the water.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
then when you flush it, it sucks the seat in. You don't have to
Nah.
do it. But every toilet now has those automatic flushes where it senses the fact that no one's sat there anymore. So the same thing happens to me every time I try and use one. I put the thing down. I'm like, I'm ready, and I've ripped the thing so the thing is sat there in the water. And then I turn around, and as I go to sit down, it detects that I've crouched down, flushes the thing, and then as I sit, it all goes down the toilet, and I end up sitting on the nasty seat. Have you ever had that happen?
I don't. Just
I'm
use
not-
the toilet. Just use the toilet. Never in the history of the world has anything been transmitted through the butt cheek. Ever. It's never happened. No one's ever caught it like tuberculosis via butt cheek.
You know what I find helps is that I just go in the sink.
Yeah? Just take a nice dump in the
You know, it's
in public.
cleanly. No one's used it in that manner before, so you know it's relatively clean. Soap right there. No problem. No problem. You get some looks, but thank God there's no cameras there.
That's right. Exactly.
So-
Like I didn't used to buy into using those seat covers, but then I don't know, something happened recently where now I'm like, I don't want my bare ass touching
Well,
the
you're
toilet
basically
seat.
going bare ass to ass with another.
Yeah,
dude.
I think that's what I've started thinking.
Yeah,
made me
it's really weird when
uncomfortable.
you sit down and it's like, I guess it's like maybe warm. It's like, oh, someone's just sat here. And it's just like yeah, it's just certain things in life you don't need to think about.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No, I
Thumbs
mean,
up, Alan. Those are good ribs, man. Those are really good. I'm gonna drink a beer now.
Yeah, especially when the seat's warm. That's when you like really think about it. You're like,
Okay.
oh man.
Any movements that you can't usually
Yeah,
see
also,
like that.
this SDI adapter's fucked up. You need to reboot it for the SDI adapter by the laptop over there.
That's fucking creepy, Gav.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
What would you do with this technology? How would you
I
use
point it at girls
Yeah, go
as
ahead.
I talk to them,
You sure enough, you nailed it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let me ask the question.
and I would like get in a row. Like this is what you could do. You could get a row of girls,
Go ahead.
and you could see which one likes you the most.
How?
I'll tell
Because
you
they
what.
do different body stuff when they
They
like.
do
someone.
different body stuff.
What happens? Like when they get near you, their pulse goes up? Or
Yeah,
when you
doesn't it?
point a huge electromagnet at them, that their pulse goes up?
When you see a girl in
Christmas trees
person,
are
Let's
never gonna
go,
be the
okay.
same.
you see a girl in person who you're like,
Yeah.
she is top.
So what do you do?
Your body is doing something a bit different than normal, innit?
Let me ask you.
Okay.
let me go, would you
So
be
what do you do?
comfortable-
So
would
what-
you be comfortable if someone was like observing your pulsing?
Yeah, go for it.
So
I mean,
don't
you
wanna look
can
at your
now.
pulsing.
finish your thought. Finish your thought. So there's a girl in public, and you see her, and you think she likes you. So you do what?
Do a video on her.
You
and then-
point a giant fucking mechanism at her.
Here's a
and bombard
crazy
her with
fucking
radiation.
notion,
No,
Gavin.
it's not- it's
Ask her out. Ask the girl out.
I'm not gonna do that.
You get a fucking big machine out. You roll it up. You throw a lead apron on her. And
This
then you
might
color
give you
her.
cancer,
It's not
but
a
don't worry.
machine. It's just video.
It's not a machine?
No, it's a software algorithm on it.
Gavin,
You can download it.
How is
We
it
can do
possible?
this.
How is it possible you can't talk to a girl, but you're totally okay videoing her and then putting her through post-production?
He's giving you a hard time, but I understand because
Just
guys
talk to
don't
her.
want to talk to girls.
Just
they'd rather
talk to her.
They'd
So you
rather put something scientific and point that at them
A
and be
gun.
ahead of the
This is my love gun.
I kind
This
of,
won't hurt at all. You won't feel anything.
I kind of want to just to take advantage because it's such new technology. People haven't found out about this yet, so I've still got the advantage.
Stupid.
Your head-
We
your
don't
head.
need this technology. You'd be like, I drive a Porsche. Just swing around the bar.
Well,
Just show have like a picture of your dick on your
Anyway.
iPhone and be like, anybody interested?
anyway, whatever.
I'm gonna play a game. This is a game I want to play. Brandon, is there a graphic for this?
No, I don't think we have a graphic for it.
All
yet.
right, this is a game that I made up. One of my favorite things that we do on the podcast is when we search for something and how Google auto completes it. But then my other favorite thing is when Gavin comes up with a ridiculously stupid question. So Gus, Joel, you guys are gonna play a game right now. It's
Okay.
called Gavin or Google. And here's what I did. I took 3 words and I gave them to Gavin, and he had to come up with a question. And then I typed those same 3 words into Google and got the most ridiculous autocomplete.
So you've already done this first part with Gavin.
Already did it with Gavin.
Okay,
Already
cool.
did it. So this is Gavin or Google, and you're gonna figure this out. Okay, the first one is, what happens if? Okay, that's the phrase that I gave to Gavin into
Okay.
Google. Okay, and you gotta tell me which one is which. What happens if you accidentally eat all the marijuana?
I already got this.
And what happens if you breathe too much?
okay.
Which one is Google and which one is Gavin?
the weed one is Google. The
Okay.
breathing one is Gav.
I'm going to agree with that.
You are correct.
Yeah.
This is
you're-
this is too easy.
No, no.
Well, that's the first one.
This next one is, can you see? Can you see?
Is this Y-O-U or the letter U?
It's Y-O-U.
Okay.
Can you see? And you can see with your eyes.
Very
First one
important.
is,
No,
Can-
you're right. It's important to do.
Yeah.
To check, know what's going on.
can you see stars while you're in space? And the other one is simply, can you see oxygen? Which one is Gavin
Now,
and which one
why
is
why did
Google?
you say one with a slight
I
English
say them all,
accent?
my accent's bad. I say them all with a slight accent. I don't know what
say
Google's
stars
accent
in
would be.
space is Gavin, and oxygen is Google.
Joel?
I think the reverse, but I'd think the reverse.
Okay.
Joel is correct. Can you
Oh.
see oxygen is Gavin?
Why the fuck would you ask that? Is that a serious question?
So here's the bonus round since you're out. You actually already know the answer to this. And this one is, how many buttons? Dot, dot, dot. How many buttons?
I'm gonna guess
one
the
of 'em
first
is-
one's Gavin.
One of them is, how many buttons do you have to button?
Does this have something to do with the toilet seat?
How many buttons do you have to button?
Man, Bert's turning all fucking red.
Point a laser at me. See what my balls is. How many buttons do you have to button on a 2-button suit?
I have no idea what you're saying.
How many buttons do
how
you
many
have to button on a 2-button suit?
How many buttons do you have to button on a 2-button suit? And then the other one is, how many buttons does it take to launch the space shuttle? Which one is Gavin and which one is Google?
All right, this is a little bit loaded for me because there was some crosstalk going on before the podcast, so I'm not sure if this has been dirtied a little bit. All right, I want you to repeat.
How many buttons do you have to button on a 2-button suit? And how many buttons does it take to launch the space shuttle?
All right, I'm gonna go space shuttle. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go space shuttle Gav. Other one Google.
All right.
Our champion, Mr. Joel Heyman, 3 for 3. Everybody applause. There'll be a trophy next week for you. Oh my God. Please send me queries, three or 4 word queries to start a search with, and
Joel,
I'll
you
give them
did
to
very
Gavin
well.
every week. Please send
Very
me
well.
some. Oh my God.
We should definitely mix it up. Have like some U's, the letter U instead of Y or U, and things like that as well.
How many buttons on a 2-button?
The other day I was in my house
very
and I
stressful.
have tile floors, and I was pulling my iPhone out of my pocket and it slipped out of my hand and was falling over the tile. And then with my, like, I knew I was gonna reach it in time. With my foot, I kicked it because there was a rug on the other side of the room, and I kicked it so it didn't land on the tile, and it went across the room and landed on the rug, and I was like, yes! And I walked over, totally fine. Like I said, I like saved it.
I'm glad there's a camera in your house.
I walked up to a. I had a glass
What phone do
in
you
my
have?
hand. I walked up to my freezer. I opened the freezer. An ice cube fell out. I hacky sacked the ice cube. It went up and over behind me, and I stuck my foot out and hacky sacked it again. It came back up over my head and landed in the glass.
No way.
Good.
And I'm
God.
like, and there's no one. And now this is why you should have a camera. No one
Yeah.
ever fucking sees this stuff. But this, I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was.
If identical
doesn't care what you
twins,
do with
like let's say there's male identical twins, marry female identical twins, and they each have kids. The kids are legally cousins, but genetically siblings.
Fuck that. Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
I
that
looked
how
up,
it happened?
Yeah,
I
because
looked up
since the
DNA
two-
space station, and Stephen Colbert was the first image that
yeah,
came up. I just
the
want to
two
point that
men
out.
and the 2 women are genetically identical.
But they're not though, really.
Yes, they are.
They're the same person.
Genetically, they are identical. So when they have kids, their kids are.
I'm sorry.
So wait. No, really?
Yes, yes.
There's no mutation of variants at all?
No.
They have the same fingerprint.
No, they do not have the same fingerprint.
Well, they're not identical.
The fingerprint, and they address this in the article, the fingerprint is created in the womb, like when your fingers are first forming as you touch things in the womb.
So this is my mother's womb.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop it. Don't you have to do that. You don't have to do that.
What do you mean I have to do that?
It's just, you make it weird.
Yeah,
You say
like when I
something-
think about being in your mom, I don't want to think about you having been in there first.
When I think about being
High
in
five
your
right there,
mom,
bud. High five, man.
let's make it a gentleman's agreement. Let's agree not to think about being in each other's moms.
I'm saying that's bullshit. I didn't get this because I was palming stuff before I was born.
How did you get it then?
It grew that way. How did I get this?
You poked yourself in the eye. You literally touched your eyeball.
I did do that.
I'm gonna make the leap and say every conversation here makes no sense.
I'm pretty much okay with everybody on the podcast. Except Jack.
Irish fucktard.
I'm pretty much okay with everybody on the podcast. Except Jack.
Irish fucktard.